Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Navdisha Achiever Series, where we are interacting with the National Awardee teachers, brought to you by Navdisha. This portal aims to empower and enrich teachers. Today, I'll take you through a typical day in the life of a National Award winning teacher who won this prestigious award in the year 2020, Madam Sangeeta Sohni. Besides doing the household chores, cooking for the family, hand-holding some of the students with a one-on-one tuition, she attends Bhagavad Gita classes, listens to bhajans, and is also deeply involved in the Vidyarthi Vigyan Manthan, setting question papers for them and mentoring them. And all the small things which she has missed during her workaholic days spanning 40 long years. We welcome Mrs. Sangeeta Sohni.
Thank you for inviting me to this program. You have really appreciated the work which I have done. I feel that being a teacher is a natural instinct in me because I am the fourth generation teacher in this field of education.
Wow, that's wonderful. Okay, ma'am, we all want to know that when you look back at your career, such an illustrious one, do you get a sense of fulfillment at what you have done? And do you feel like congratulating yourself, okay, you have come a long way?
Yeah, definitely. It's been 4 decades into this profession. I started when I was around 21 years, straight from college into the teaching school teaching. And yes, today when I look back, it's a sigh of satisfaction, a deep breath of happiness, and a comfortable night's sleep.
Okay, that's wonderful. So your days when you were working were not comfortable. You were working around the clock.
Yeah.
You were doing so many innovations for the students, right, ma'am?
Yeah.
So you are enjoying this sabbatical totally now?
Totally. I'm living the life of a 20 or 25-year-old now. When I'm binge watching movies, I'm binge watching web series.
Wonderful.
And really enjoying my retirement.
So when was the last movie you watched in the theatre, ma'am?
I think it was 1989 or something around 1990, I think. That was the last.
Really a long time ago.
It's a long
Speaks
time.
volumes about your dedication and about the quality time that you have given to this profession.
Yeah, it's a passion. It was always my choice to become a teacher. It was not by chance. Nobody forced me to take this profession. It was instinctive, and I think it is in my genes because I am the 4th generation. So my maternal and paternal side both are into teaching profession. Some are in medical teaching, some are in law colleges, some in schools, some in various colleges. So I think, yes,
It's in your
it's
DNA.
a passion.
It's
a
in your
passion.
DNA.
It's a, yeah.
Okay, ma'am, we would like to know from you, how did it feel to receive the award and what led to it, the prestigious Rashtrapati Puraskar?
The feeling is undescribable. Really, it cannot. When the name was announced, my tears were rolling.
Oh my
When
God.
I saw Rashtrapati ji because we are the lockdown batch, when I saw him on the camera and when the name was announced with my work being depicted on the camera, it was awesome. There are no words to describe that. It's a feeling really which cannot be described in words. It's not so easy. It's an emotion. It's not a feeling, it's an emotion actually.
And your family must have rallied around you and felt very proud about it.
I think I wouldn't have achieved this without my family support and the support of my husband more than anything else.
That's great. Ma'am, there must have been something specific that you did to get nominated for this award. Yeah, so because the competition is so fierce out there, but your performance must have been stellar, and that is why you got this recognition. Can you give us an insight about that?
Yeah, my work is over a range of areas. Like I started working in atomic energy schools in 1985 in Hyderabad. Then I was transferred to Manuguru, then to Bombay, and I am in Bombay from 2000. And the work which I have done accelerated after I came to Bombay because of the exposure. I got associated with Homi Bhabha Science Center for education, and then I got associated with BASE program with them, which is under TIFR. And then I got associated with Vidyarthi Vigyan Manthan program, where I hosted the program for around 400 students in my school as an officiating principal. It was really difficult stage, but definitely the contributions which I have done there have been many. Like starting from NIOS schools, when I was teaching NIOS students, I never expected that I would get a chance to teach students who are training them for Olympiads, international Olympiads. And throughout my 8 years of association with Olympiad team, every year India has come back with around 5 to 6 gold medals and 4 to 5 individual medals, silver or gold.
That's fantastic.
It was a really achievement. I felt that was my main contribution to my country, that I am doing the two extremes. Like I've started with NIOS, where their students were of really a background where they needed to complete their education to get a job or to complete their dropped out. They have been dropouts, so they are completing their education, plus the other extreme where the students are representing the country at an international level.
Your graph actually grew from here to here.
Yeah, it was
so
really.
I'm sure the teachers who are watching this chat would be definitely inspired that how you can rise, from the grassroots level to the pinnacle of it.
Yeah, it's actually, as a teacher, the basic instinct is syllabus hai, complete karna hai.
That's it.
And do the job 9 to 3 or whatever the timings are and get back home.
Yes.
But getting a national award is beyond your regular timing. It's beyond your regular timing. Like you have to really dedicate yourself to this profession if you want to achieve something beyond what is normal. So I don't remember days when I have slept because I was designing questions, or I was designing practicals, or I was making low-cost toys. Actually, that was the main reason I was felicitated with this national award. The low-cost teaching aids which I used.
Yes, ma'am.
The simplest ones which nobody would have thought of can be used for teaching chemistry especially.
So yes, ma'am, my next query to you was about that only. You have evolved your teaching style in such a way that you use very low-cost teaching aids, and you've made a dry subject like chemistry very interesting for the students. So please tell us in detail about the aids, because it is through that interaction and through the help of those aids that you have made any subject, any dry subject, so popular.
Actually, I hated chemistry. This is a real confession, official confession. I hated chemistry, but one of my professors was very, very interesting, and she made the subject interesting, and I started following her. I used to attend her class only during my college days and bunk the remaining classes.
How nice, how nice.
So she was my inspiration, and then when I looked at my mother, who was also a botany professor, and my father was a zoology professor. And my mother became a principal, but she was very strict. She was like aloof from the students.
Your mother?
Yeah, my mother was very aloof. Even with us, she was little aloof. So when I took up this teaching profession, the day I joined my school as a teacher, I decided I will not follow that. I will be a friend to my students, because I was 21 and my students were 16 and 17. So there was hardly any difference.
There was no generation gap.
There was a lot of. And so I felt, yes, my low-cost teaching aids, if you ask me, there have been many. There have been really many of them, which even Royal Society of Chemistry London has appreciated, and they have Yusuf Hamid, the foundation, they have used my aids also.
Huge.
And they are very simple, like 2 bangles.
Okay.
Bangles can be used for teaching the subject like chemistry, for chemical bonding. So then smiley balls, which people use for exercise and all, can be used for teaching bonding in chemistry.
Wow.
Then a pack of cards. A simple pack of cards with 52, you have the elements in them. So instead of the cards, you just put the chart of the elements, and you can make the children learn those elements by heart by playing solitaire. Now everybody plays online solitaire, so you just put this game online. So a lot of games I have designed for students can play online and learn chemistry. Then there is one game which is very close to my heart, and that is the name game. I call it by name game because I used my name to start this game for teaching students the periodic table. And in my name, if you see Sangeeta, Sohni. So how many elements can you identify in my name?
I don't know chemistry
yeah.
at all, ma'am.
Yeah. So I'm just telling you, you don't know, but I'm just telling you. So how many elements? If you have a periodic table with you, you can find the elements in my name. So if I give it to a student, the student can find the elements in his name, and remember, he will never forget.
Never
So
forget it.
periodic table is not going to be a burden for a student to remember. He can just remember by remembering the names of his family members, his siblings, or any place. Like you take Ahmedabad city, and you find the elements in them. So you will never forget the element, nor you will
Absolutely,
forget
absolutely.
Ahmedabad or your native place. And then you can make words from periodic table. This is another one which I added to the name game. So if you have a periodic table, you can make words. So English can be taught through that. You can learn geography through a periodic table because it talks
really
about where
interesting.
the elements are found, what is their source, and what is their occurrence, and what is the amount of substance which is available in the resource. So many things can be learned
Tell
from
me
a
one thing,
periodic
ma'am.
table.
This was totally your innovation, or were you
Yeah.
inspired by it by someone?
No. It was totally mine
My
because
God.
when I found chemistry difficult, I tried devising methods which made chemistry easy for my students.
That is amazing. You have inspired me now to learn chemistry.
Sure, definitely.
So, ma'am, moving on to the next view of your views on how would you measure the success of your students beyond the academics? You have tried to mold them in a certain way, but now they have moved out. Do they come back to you with their success stories?
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah, and I had this principle in my life always. You educate a student, don't make him a literate. Anybody can be a literate. You learn to read and write, you are a literate. But when you are educating a person, you are bringing about a behavioral change in his attitude, his perception towards life, towards humanity, and towards society. That is very important.
Very
As
important,
an
ma'am.
education, to be educated is more important
Yeah.
than being a literate.
For making upright citizens,
Yeah,
so
that
it
is
very
the main
important.
contribution.
Very
As a
important.
teacher, I need to give good citizens to my
Yes,
country.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And two incidents I would really like to share when you are asking about that, how they have moved ahead in their life. There was one student in class 8th or 9th, and then there was some incidents in his nearby place which made him decide to marry an orphan and to adopt orphans.
Oh my God.
And he was in 9th class at that time. And every time his parents used to come, teacher, please, usko bolo, aise sab nahi hota hai.
Usko samjhao.
And when he is an aeronautical engineer from IIT Kharagpur. And when he was posted in Japan, his parents were behind him to get married, which is a normal thing for any parent with a grown-up child. So he rang me up one day from Japan and said, teacher, please convince my parents that I am marrying an orphan. And he really married an orphan and he adopted 3 orphan girls. That is one story I really love to share with everyone because this is how you can inspire. And there's one little which is more towards the other side of the society, but I still would like to share. There was one student who during the college days, we were staying in a hostel in Delhi, he got waylaid and he had a transgender difference.
Okay.
So that time when he came to meet me after that incident, he told me, teacher, पेरेंट्स को कैसे बताना है मैं तो नहीं बताऊंगा ये चीज़ बट आई कांट कम आउट ऑफ इट सो कंटिन्यूस काउंसलिंग फॉर अराउंड 2 to 3 years with him back to back on phone convincing him that such things are okay but till your parents are ready to accept it. That was a challenge and
really you haven't just
out.
taught, ma'am, you have really educated.
Really, that was these 2 incidents, and there was one incident when I was very young. I had been sent as an external examiner to some place in Andhra Pradesh because I was working in Hyderabad. It was in a remote area outskirts of Hyderabad. The students were from a village and they did not know what is practicals. They had never attended the school. So when I landed as a external examiner in that college, in that village, the complete village panchayat with all the people, they came up to welcome. And then as we were going to the college, the professor there, the principal there said, "Madam, ये बच्चों को कुछ तो करके पास कर दीजिए, ये लोग पहली बार, अभी तो स्कूल में ही नहीं आते थे, अभी आए हैं, पहली बार स्कूल में आए हैं." So I said, "Okay, I'll give them marks. That is 30 on 30. This is state board, na? So 30 on 30 marks. I'll give them. Everybody will get. But provided they perform the experiment in front of me, as I show them, let them perform. At least they should have a satisfaction of getting the marks that I have performed and got the marks, not that simply marks have been given because people have
earning the marks.
Earning the marks.
Yeah.
So that they did not know how to hold the pipette and burette. Actually,
okay.
Literally, they were in the reverse way.
Oh.
The way the pipette has to be sucked in, they were using it the other way. They
so
did
you
not
made
even
them do
hold.
that practical in front of you?
I taught them, and it took me around full day to conduct 2 batches of practicals of 3 hours each. And when I came back, I felt, yes.
Hats off to your persistence, ma'am.
Yeah, that is one satisfaction, not only, but it's a satisfaction of doing a job. Yeah, that felt very nice.
Coming back to the current scenario, ma'am, we have so many coaching classes mushrooming all over the country. So where somewhere do you feel that the classroom teaching is losing its nobility?
No. Classroom teaching can never replace coaching. Never. The classroom teaching has empathetic teachers. Whereas when you go to a coaching class, you are getting what you have paid for.
Yeah.
There's no personal one-to-one interaction.
Yeah.
So classroom teaching can never be replaced. Even if AI comes, even if robots come, the empathetic part of a teacher cannot be replaced by anyone.
That's a correct way of putting it, ma'am. The classroom teaching is very empathetic, where you get the feel, the sense.
When you look at the student into their face and into their eyes, you know, okay, इसको समझा है, इसको नहीं समझा है, इसको करना है अभी पकड़ के. That satisfaction is different. That is very important as a teacher.
What are the challenges do you think our education system is facing right now? I know you have retired and you would rather, attend a Bhagavad Gita session than, talk about this. But with so much of experience behind you, ma'am, what do you think is the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge is the motivation for the youngsters to take up teaching as a profession. Hardly. I want to recollect one WhatsApp video which was circulating very recently, where there was a platform where some 5 people were sitting, and in front of 4 there were placards.
I remember. The designation was
written. The designation was written
yes,
as doctor, engineer, and so. But there was nothing kept in front of the person sitting in the center of the stage.
Yeah.
And then everybody started telling about everybody who is more important than. And finally, the person who is in the center, they asked, who do you think they are? They said, no, we don't know, because there's nothing kept in front. So the recognition of a teacher, the branding of a teacher is very essential today. That is where we are lacking. We are not lacking in the content which the teachers are having. We are not lacking in the dedication of teachers. We are not lacking in the commitment which the teachers are having for teaching. But we are definitely lacking in that designation and that respect, the Gurukul type respect. Teacher ne bol diya, matlab that is it.
That is the final word.
That is the final word. That is lacking. That commitment from the society towards a teacher. That is lacking.
Teachers definitely should get more
recognition. You are building those doctors and engineers. Without you, where would they be? But still you feel that teacher is a teacher. That brand, that teacher is a teacher.
Missing.
उसने क्या किया?
It's missing.
हाँ, टीचर ने पढ़ाया तो है, क्या पढ़ाया है? तुमको हाथ पकड़ के लिखना सिखाया है, तो तुम आज साइन कर सक रहे हो.
Right. Golden words, ma'am. Golden words. If you were to suggest some changes in the current day education system, looking back at your career, ma'am, some suggestions only.
Yeah, one suggestion I would, and I think the government is working on that, is to make teaching a professional course. Government has started, because I am from Regional College of Education. Today it's called as Regional Education Institute. There are 4 centers across the country: Bhopal, Ajmer, Mysore and Bhubaneswar. They are teachers. The course there is BSc Ed, BA Ed and MSc Ed, MA Ed. That means we are Master of Science Education or Master of Art Education. And in this course of 4 years, we have a semester completely dedicated only to teaching. And you are graded based on the teaching. And you are not going to your normal private schools and all. You are sent to government schools. You're sent to model school, demonstration schools, where you have to show your teaching ability. And that is very essential today if you want better quality of teachers. Teachers today are very bright. They are very dedicated. They are tech savvy also. We were not so tech savvy.
Exactly.
So lockdown was a real trauma for all the teachers. I think I'm right, isn't it? The teachers were the only ones who were looked at for having to learn things within weeks to take classes online. So hats off to all the teachers.
Very important to be relevant, ma'am, because the younger generation is, growing by leaps and bounds.
Yes, yes.
So you really have to be relevant to what they are learning. Otherwise, they will never listen to you.
They will never listen.
Yeah.
You have to upgrade yourself. You have to upgrade yourself, and it's very essential that you upgrade according to the situation which is happening in front of you. So teaching has to be upgraded to different levels.
I agree totally. Ma'am, I see that you have a never say die attitude. You have faced challenges, really, like holding the bull by the horn. How have you managed or balanced there must have been some personal setbacks in your life. So how have you balanced the personal and the professional challenges and never let it reflect on your growth and your career?
Yeah, I think it's very difficult to balance personal and professional life, but you need to segregate them. When you are taking this profession as a commitment for life, then you need to be committed to it fully, dedicated. I know it's very difficult, but still. Why I'm telling you this, to get this award, sometimes I feel it's a God's grace, not my work, but God's grace of looking after a husband who had two brain surgeries because of hematoma, which was around 5 centimeters inside the brain. So the skull was removed and the hematoma was scraped out, and the skull was stored in Jaslok Hospital for 2 years so that things would settle down, and then he was in coma for 7 years.
Oh my God.
And then we started making him learn things like a child, holding hands, literally making him walk. But he can't talk because 3 parts of the brain have been completely demolished. But nature takes care of itself. So it's like regenerating the cells in the brain. So now mostly he has come out of it, but still he can't take care of himself. In those days of trauma, my kids were very small. One was in 11th, just past 10th, and the other one was in 5th standard when this happened. So I was also young, and I was thinking, I will lose hope in life, everything. But I should thank my spiritual guru who gave me strength to face this trauma in my life and come out in this manner today, to stand successfully in front of others, that life is full of challenges and you need to smile and face it. If you cry and face it, people are going to just make fun of you. But if you laugh and face it, nobody knows what's happening inside. And it was during this trauma period of 2003 to 2013, I completed my MBA from Mumbai University in education. I completed my certificate and diploma course from TISS. That was an inspiration for me to look forward. There's something I have to go beyond. And that is the criteria for a national award. What are you doing beyond your normal? School things are normal, but beyond normal, what is that?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing such personal details with us. I know it requires a lot of strength, to come out and open about your personal setbacks. We are truly honored to have you here today with us. I'm sure many teachers would get a lot of inspiration about this. Look at the personal setbacks. She never let them come in the way of her career. Look at the zeal and the enthusiasm with which she has worked throughout her life, and she's enjoying her sabbatical now in an equal manner. Thank you so much for having.
And I would like to take this opportunity to thank Navneet for giving me this opportunity to attend this series. And I hope I will be a source of inspiration to at least one among the thousands of teachers who is watching this. Because if I train one teacher, she will herself or he himself
Yes.
will train 10 others.
It will have a cascading effect.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Great.
much, ma'am.